Hello everyone, welcome back to Fact Frame. I'm Tatiana and today we are doing something a little bit different. We are diving deep into the world of media analysis and critique. We are going to break down some of your favorite TV shows, movies, and advertisements, exploring how they use symbolism, storytelling techniques, and even psychology behind why we love them. We will also be tracking the thorny issue of media bias and how news is presented differently across platforms. And finally, we will look at a few cases like case studies on successful media campaigns that left a major mark on pop culture. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Let's kick things off with an analysis of popular TV shows, movies, and advertisements. If you have ever watched something and wondered, what's the deeper meaning here? You are not alone. Media creators often use complex symbolism and storytelling techniques to convey messages, evoke emotions, and even critique society. Let's take a look at a few examples. Take Stranger Things, for example. It's not just a show about kids fighting monsters. It's about friendship, it's about growing up and navigating the darker aspects of human nature. The Duffer Brothers used the 80s nostalgia to build the atmosphere, but they also cleverly tap into themes like government, scarcity, and loss of innocence. Or think about The Matrix. It's packed with symbolism, from the red pill blue pill choice representing enlightenment versus ignorance, to the deeper commentary on free will, control, and reality. It's a movie that uses science fiction elements to discuss philosophy, technology, or even spirituality. Now let's look at the advertisements. You might not realize it, but commercials often use psychological tricks to create emotional connections. Take Nike's Just Do It campaign. It's not just about selling shoes, it's about selling a mindset. The slogan taps into the desire for personal empowerment, pushing us to overcome obstacles and push past limits. The visual storytelling. Let's talk about it. It's motivational. What about the music? It's inspiring. And the overall message, you can do it. Simple but effective. So, whether it's a blockbuster movie, a viral TV show, or even a clever ad, there is always more going on beneath the surface that meets an eye. The creators are shaping our perceptions through imagery, themes, and narratives that resonate on a much deeper level. Now let's get into something a bit heavier, media bias. We all know that media plays a huge role in shaping public opinion. But what happens when the news is presented with a bias? Whether we are talking about politics, social issues, or world events, media outlets often frame stories in the ways that reflect their values, agendas, or audience preferences. Take the coverage of political events, for example. If you watch CNN and then switch to Fox News, you will likely notice very different tones, framing, and even focus points. CNN might highlight certain facts and narratives that paint the situation in a particular light, while Fox News could emphasize a different angle, appealing to a completely different set of priorities or values. This is just not about the facts, It's all about how those facts are presented. Now let's talk about media bias. Media bias comes in many forms. Selection bias, where some stories are highlighted over others. Framing bias, where the way a story is told affects how we perceive it. And confirmation bias, where journalists or outlets present information that aligns with their audience beliefs. So, no, I'm not saying that all media outlets are deliberately misleading us, but it's important to be aware of these biases. The next time you watch the news, pay attention to the language, the images, and even the tone of voice. It all shapes the way you understand what's happening in the world. Now let's lighten things up with some successful stories. Media campaigns have lots of power to influence culture and even change societal behavior. Here are a few examples of campaigns that made a lasting impact. Take Dove's Real Beauty campaign. It's one of the most successful advertising campaigns in history, not just because it sold products, but because it shifted the conversation around beauty standards. Dove showed that real beauty comes in its shapes, sizes, and skin tones, challenging the unrealistic standards set by traditional beauty ads. What about another example? The ALS Ice Bucket challenge. What started as a viral trend turned into a global awareness campaign that raised millions of dollars for ALS research. It wasn't just the viral videos that made it successful, it was the way the campaign tapped into social media's power to create a shared global movement. So, what do these campaigns have in common? They understood the power of storytelling. Whether it's telling a personal story, challenging a status quo, or tapping into emotions, the most successful media campaigns resonate deeply with their audience. They aren't just selling a product, they're selling the idea, a movement, or a change in perspective. Alright, that's it for today's breakdown. From the hidden layers in your favorite TV shows and movies to the tricky world of media bias and powerful of successful campaigns, we have covered a lot of ground today. If you find this analysis interesting, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Fact Frame for more insights into the world of media. And please leave a comment below. What TV show, movie, or ad would you like me to break down next? I would like to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time on Fact Frame. Stay curious.